You're back at it again with another episode of Our Current Reality. For those who are new to our channel, check it out. This is Our Current Reality, producing inspiration through development. Truth, unashamed, unafraid.
Come on,
Mr. Lyric.
Oh,
What's going on?
Hey.
what's going on, boss? I actually seen you guys were trying to get a hold of me, so I tried reaching out to you guys. Probably why it wasn't going through.
Okay. Welcome to SML Radio Show. We in the building. I'm doing good. So,
How you doing tonight?
I'm all right, and yeah, it's I know it's probably weird to read, but it's Sean. I always get the other
See, I said Sean. Sean is spelled two different ways. I have a guy I work with. He spelled it SHAUN.
Okay, I know SHAWN as well, so
Oh,
I see you guys
see?
having a little trouble with the scene and stuff, so I figured I'd
Yeah.
well,
And it's Sean Lyrics, right?
yes.
Okay,
Lyric.
okay.
With no S, lyric.
Lyric. Okay.
Yes.
Do you have a Twitter, Facebook?
Yes, my Twitter is Sean_lyric, and my Facebook is just Sean Lyric.
Okay.
all right. So, how did you find out about us?
My publicist, Cece, she
Oh yeah, she's the one who's been emailing me all day. I
Yeah.
really appreciate that.
yeah, she let me know about you guys and let me know it'd be a great look to come on your show.
Definitely.
To discuss, what we do. So here we are.
I built this from the ground up, and here you are.
Nice.
So, tell us what you do for a living.
Well, I'm a gospel artist and I'm a worship leader as well.
Gospel artist.
Yeah.
All right.
You're the first gospel artist. Actually, is he the first gospel artist to come on the show?
I think so, actually.
Because we had authors.
We've had artists,
like,
singers who come on their show before, but not gospel like that.
Yeah, I'm a worship leader, so I'm super gospel.
Aw, that's
Super
wonderful.
gospel.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay. So, tell us about your walk with God. How is it? Tell us when you first met God. How
did you
everything was-
start?
Yeah, how did you start?
Well, my story is a little more cliche, likely because I grew up, inside the church. I was born into a Christian home, and my parents has always been very, very, very much spiritual. So it kind of like trickled down to, me and my siblings and all. But, as a kid, you go to church. You like church, but you go to church because you kind of don't have a choice to go to church, So growing up, I feel like I found God so many different times in my lifetime, and I'm 27 now, and I feel like I found God so many different times throughout my lifetime. So I would say I found God just besides the fact that I was birthed into it. I found God when I was going through the most difficult times of my life, and I felt like I really had nothing else to turn to. So I was kind of like looking for an answer, and then here God was, just letting me know that just come, circle back to where it all started, and you can't go wrong with that. And I went back to that, and I've been the happiest man since. So that's basically how my all abouts came as far as God.
First, let's start with your career of gospel singing. How many albums do you have out right now?
It's funny that you say, because I have 0 albums out.
Oh,
Actually,
you know what? It's okay, because as long as you got product, that's what's worth it. I mean, even if it's in your mind and no one has heard it yet.
Yeah, and the thing is, to explain why I have 0 albums out. I've only been doing gospel for literally about 11 months now. I actually used to be a hip hop artist, and I've just recently, made the switch over to gospel because, like I said, I felt like this is where
Your publicist emailed me that too. She gave me a little info.
So actually, I did my live recording in February where we recorded the album. But that's takes so much time to just put all these things together and like mix records and then make sure everything's right. So it's in the works, to say. But I do have material out, on iTunes. I have my very first lead single that that really like captured people's attention, which is called Faithfully. I have another one called I Lift Your Name. That's another one. And I have another one called Thank You, Lord. All 3 of those are on iTunes right now. So I do have material out, but the product is in the works.
Oh man! So when it came to your hip hop album, did you have a lot of support?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I had very much support because when I first started doing it, being in Brooklyn, people in New York are very much.
Oh, you know what, man? The subways is the scariest.
Subways. I don't like subways either.
Me, I just walk above ground. Like, I said I'm safer walking down there. I'm not even if I'm in a rush somewhere. I still take a bus, cab.
I've been on the path, not the subway.
I just don't like subways at all.
Yeah,
It's
different.
so much
Bring the
crowded.
rate down.
Just like no room, and it's just everybody's all up in your face. I don't like that very much. So I choose to drive more often when I'm in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, even driving is kind of.
I never been to
weird.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, New York City, is a world to itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see, I'm serious. It's like its own little country, and you got like what 2 million, 3 million people that live there, and it's like people are so mean at one another. Other people walk around with signs that say "Repent now, God is coming," and all this other stuff, and and I appreciate those people, but other people just walk around them like. Yeah, is he coming next in 5 minutes? If not, I'm still going to work. I don't care. It's just like, why does it have to be like this?
You remember that guy, the light rail station or the path?
Yeah, I took a picture of a guy that had. You know what? I was watching a movie the other day, and the guy that we met was in the movie.
What guy?
This kid was walking by him. He was standing with the sign up.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's
so
great.
I was like, oh my god. So you ever see that in New York City?
Yeah, absolutely. Even with the shirts, like it's funny you said that. People walk around with the shirts that say "Repent now" because I walk around every day with a shirt that says "Thank you, Lord," and it's funny because how much people get how much easier it is to kind of speak the gospel to somebody simply by having a shirt on, because you could try to talk to them, stop them in the street. Everybody's always in a rush, but you walk by them and the "Thank you, Lord" shirt catches their attention every time. They're like, "Oh, that's a great shirt," So it's just kind of like a way to just let them know, okay, there is something else to life, other than the many different things that we were accustomed to.
Wow. Do you ever see the homeless people and tell them about the gospel?
Yes, all the time.
What was their reply? Because I had one guy that said that he went to college and stuff, and I was like, "Oh yeah, what about God?" And he's like, "Man, I don't want to talk about that, man."
Yeah, I mean, every chance that I get, I won't come up on you and just bombard you with God and stuff, but every chance I get, say, I had an encounter with a homeless person in Canada a few weeks back, and just giving them change, and I just, just the simplest thing like "God bless you," or pray, or things like that. Just the simplest things could really just get somebody's attention, to not even necessarily change their life at the moment, but it just keeps in mind that maybe that one day that guy who gave me change, what was he talking about? Maybe they hear from somebody else, and then it connects, and then something happens in their life. So I always try to use my ministry to spread the gospel as much as I can.
With your hip hop music,
yeah.
What was you talking about in your rap music?
I was talking about my life and the things that I strive for my life. So I spoke a lot about, my struggles coming up as a kid. I'm an immigrant. My
really? Where you
migrated from Haiti. So coming up here as a kid,
Haiti.
not knowing any English in a brand new world. America's a whole different world from Haiti. Having to learn everything all over again and having to make friends and then different things like that. I spoke of struggles, of going to college and, different things, different obstacles that were in my way. So I spoke of my life and things that I want from life and the things that I feel other people can relate to, that they need that support to feel like somebody else out there.
Is the hip hop beat scaring you a little bit?
No, they don't,
like,
because I come from that, so they don't really scare me.
So it's kind of like home a little bit. It's kind of like, I can listen to the beats and talk about God and not be wrong about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I do. I used to listen to a lot of rap music, but now I just listen to the beat, and I let and the beats are so innocent, but it's the lyrics that destroy
it. Yeah, I listen to zero rap music nowadays, none. But if the beat comes on, I'll admire the beat. But once the words come on, I'm like, oh, here we go. So it's,
yep. Like a person can use this beat that we're hearing now to talk about the world and sex, money, and murder, or another person from God can use this beat to talk about the praises and His name and. And that's what I love about beats, because if it's a hip hop beat, it can still go to church.
Exactly, and it's a touchy thing because some people are afraid of that. So it's a good question. It's not so much of a far off question as you ask. Some people are afraid to really touch on that side because that song is on it or that song is on it, but the beat doesn't make the song. The person on the song makes the beat. So it's whatever they become from the words is what really we should be paying attention to or careful about.
Definitely, I love it. Is it a little too loud for you?
No, I'm rocking. I'm cool.
He's
cool.
like, he's just dancing a little bit. You see us live in the webcam. I don't know if you.
I see you, Janet.
You can't see her. She doesn't like webcams, so it's like
I don't do cameras so well. They don't like.
If
they don't like me.
Oh yeah.
No.
It's.
They are not my
if
friends.
she liked it, it would have been like popped up on the ceiling somewhere. Oh yeah, behind me, I should say, not us. Is if I can turn the camera, I have a giant flag. Let me hold on. Let me for those who are listening to our radio show from other websites, come over to unow.com/SML radio show. I'm gonna turn the camera around, and I got a giant flag behind me. It's the Christian flag.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. You gotta get one, man. You gotta get one. I don't rock American flags in my room. In this office right here, I demonstrate my love for Christ by having it on this wall. We are representing Jesus to the fullest right here.
Indeed.
People just, they rather just call me to death while I'm on the show all the time. But when you talk, like I said, when you spoke about hip hop music, what was you expressing besides your life and everything?
I was expressing, things that I've desired, and I even like a lot of my hip hop music. That's why I felt like the change wasn't so much of a shock or something that came way off left field. Like in my music and hip hop, I would always speak about God. Like it wouldn't be the focal point, but I always speak about what God did for me, even if I was rapping about something simple, because I've always had that message within me that I felt like I needed to be. If anything, if there's gonna be a hip hop artist to talk about God, I felt like I could be that guy. So, I've always kept it, within range of the gospel and things that I did. I never made ignorant music to the point where you're like, whoa,
you ever see? Oh, sorry, cut you off. Go ahead, keep going. I'm sorry, because it's something.
I was just saying, I never made ignorant music to the point where I couldn't, relate to God, because I've always made it a standard for me. Like if my parents can't listen to my music, then I don't think I should make it. And my parents are very strict Christians, so knowing that, it kind of kept me in line with the type of music that I make.
I'm sorry, I just had something that I wanted to say, but I was like, oh, he's talking. Shh, be quiet. Shh, stop talking. Shh. Oh, that's me again. I'm like that right now. The question I wanted to ask you was, when you hear that old rugged rap music that's just talking about kissing, women kissing women, men shooting and popping one another in the street, and this is my quote unquote nigga, this is, I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna keep it real with you. This is my, that person, and this is that person, how you feel about when you hear that now that you do gospel?
I mean, it doesn't surprise me. It's talking that it's the same talk in the sense that we've heard from generation to generation. It's not gonna necessarily change. That's why I stay away from radio, mainstream radio, or any type of secular music to begin with now, because of the fact that those things are still out there and they're still very much alive. But I'm not surprised by it. I expect it, if anything, because that's what out there is technically winning, quote unquote, is winning within the hip hop community. So I'm not so much surprised. I stay in my lane.
Definitely, I do hip hop music too, but I do more like awakening. Mm-hmm. Like I talk about the government in my music, and one time I did an interview at the radio station, mm-hmm. and the military, the United States military, little old me, they flagged my audio. They flagged the interview that I was in. I don't know if it was the NSA. I don't know who it was, but they snipped the audio source. So we were live, and we was hearing ourselves, but they stopped. What was that?
No, that was my bad.
Yeah, it sounded like a piano.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying.
That was a piano.
You trying to play for us tonight?
Not even.
Do you play piano?
I do play a bit.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what
I
it was.
used to a long time ago. I used to.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, they snipped the audio, so the people who were listening, they didn't hear us. It cut off. Because my fans started hitting me up on Twitter saying, yo, we can't hear you. Oh, what's going on? Blah, blah. And the moment I start talking about the government, that's when people start running. They run full far away. But
Wow.
Always.
they run so far away, man. But so one would talk about the time when you made transition to, gospel music. What prompted you to make that transition?
It was a lot of reflecting, in the fact that a couple of situations that were approaching me, I really had to sit and reflect. Do I want to proceed with that? And given all the facts of just the same things we were just talking about, the hip hop industry is a really rough industry. It's not like you can so much go in there and just dictate everything that you want. So you either go in there and kind of like accept certain things about the industry, or you stay out of it. So me being a music lover, my entire life, I felt like I shouldn't stop making music because I don't necessarily want to be a part of the hip hop industry. So I just decided to make gospel. A good thing for me is growing up, I've always God has blessed me with multiple talents. So me being able to sing somewhat, I decided, let me just slide over to something that I'm comfortable with. And I just worked on that, on that craft, and just became better at it, and still trying to continue to get better at it. And that's basically it. I just felt this was more my lane. This is I can express myself to the fullest here. And whether people like it or not, or buy it or not, I'm still glorifying God at the same time. So it's always to glorify God first, and then everything else come after. So that's basically what inspired the transition of genre.
Wow, man. I mean, we had a lot of people come on this show and just be talking, and they be like, yeah, but you made an impact on me tonight, man.
I appreciate that, man.
We had one guy from Hawaii that was an impact too. I think you tied up with him. Yeah. Anybody who has a question for
for Sean.
I always get the Sean, the same word. Anybody got a question for Sean? Send us a comment right here on unow.com/SML radio show, or send us a tweet at twitter.com/SML radio show. We'll ask him live on air. One day we're going to have a call-in. We don't have those call-ins anymore. The people call in the phone number and be like, hey, what's going on, man? I can't believe I'm talking to you on the phone. That's so cool. It's this made celebrity Sean Lyric. Yeah. Wait, that name Sean Lyric. How do you come up with that?
That name came back since I first started to do hip hop back in 2009. Sean has always been a nickname that I've been called throughout my entire life. Whether it was me thinking that I was Puffy, or me thinking that I was this other. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Jay-Z growing up and Puff Daddy. So people used to play around, call me, yo, Sean, you fake Sean, this and that. And Lyric was just because of the type of music that I made. I morally emphasize on my lyrics, so people, I guess, found me Lyric when they called me Sean Lyric, and I just put the two together, and here I was.
Wow, that's amazing, man.
Yeah,
you coming up from the start, but you got to hold fast to what God's saying in the Bible and everything. Not that we come from trouble, we come from sin, but we can easily get right back into sin if we don't watch out for the world. Question of the day: what does it mean to bless God? What will be your answer?
To bless God, that's a really good question. Is to give Him all the glory and all the praise, and the term, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but the highest form of praise is when we say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So every time we say hallelujah, we're giving God the highest form of praise we can give Him, and there's no better way to bless God than to, give him all the glory and praise, and to surrender ourselves to it within that. Because when you give him glory and praise, you got to remember, it's not about you. You have to surrender yourself fully, your soul, to God, so God can embrace you in the blessings that you're sending to him, so that he can reverse the blessing and send it back to us. And that's how we get blessed, because we bless God.
Wow. That's amazing. I mean, like, it's like a tennis.
Yeah, he sends it back at you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, the way the world is today, how would you? We got this thing called ISIS going on. So, if you was president, how would you handle that? Is that too tough of a question? Do I need to? You want to say no comment or?
Oh man, I'm probably the least political person on earth. I try.
You don't watch CNN. You watch BET.
I mean, when I get a chance to, like, it depends what's on BT, but I do know what's going on around the world. Like, I watch the news, I catch up, plus Twitter won't let you not know what's going on around the world. Twitter, Instagram, etc.
Charlie came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like the game is like this. You have two pencils, yes, no, and you just spin it, and it's just ridiculous. This is crazy.
Basically.
Demons getting bored, man.
The whole ISIS thing, there's so many ways you can go with it. You can interfere with something that people will say you have no business interfering with, but then as Christians, we look at the point of view as, shouldn't we help each other, those in need? So it's like it's a tick for tack thing, and I'm not really. I guess that's why I'm not president, because I couldn't figure it out so simple.
Yeah, we got like 10 people running for president right now.
I wouldn't want to be that. No way.
Yeah, president's a pretty tough job, especially for the United States.
Yeah.
I'd rather just stick to being a Christian.
Everybody says the United States are a bunch of bullies anyways.
In a way,
Yeah, I got it. I don't know. I mean, like, it's a lot of different things going on in the world, but another question I got for you. See, Soulful ain't asked no questions. She's busy over here on the laptop, just listening and just sitting in.
I'm listening to other people.
Oh yeah, she's on You Now answering questions and stuff. She takes care of You Now. I take care of the broadcast. The question is, have you ever been signed to a record label?
I have been signed to.
Please don't say TMG.
No, actually, could I not say the record label?
Yeah.
No, you cannot. You don't have to.
Due to the situation, but I have been signed to a record label. Yeah.
If it was Take Music Group, shake your head.
No, it wasn't.
Say it wasn't because I was signed to them and it was just horrible. I signed to that record label. Let me tell you something about record labels, man. When you working for God and first of all, Satan is the guy of this world. The guy is in control of this world. You get the domination now.
Yeah.
So the rap music scene, the hip hop music, the music scene, period, is all covered by this thing called the Illuminati.
I was just about to ask what he thought about the Illuminati.
What do you think about
it? You must have read my mind.
It's very much real. Like, I'm not going to go as far as pointing out. Like,
he's like, guys, you could get yourself killed out here before I even start my gospel career. I'm getting.
No, I mean, I know it exists, and I know what goes on in the Illuminati. But as far as to point out this person's in it and that person's in it, I mean, I don't really want to go as far as doing that, because I can't really pinpoint who it is. But I mean, the signs are there. As humans, we all see them. We keep, we all see, oh, whoa, this person doing something like this, something like that. But as far as for me to come out in the public and be like, hey, this person's Illuminati, like everybody calls this person Illuminati. I tell
you straight up, like, I have a total of 5 million fans, and throughout the 5 million fans, most of them worship idols and whatnot. So they come to me and they say, oh, Yokis is my idol. And I say, no, I'm not. God should be your idol.
Yeah.
God should be everything to you. I was telling them, stop that, man. Stop, cut that out, Stop doing that. And the thing is, I'm very vigilant. I'm very outspoken. I tell you right now, a lot of people are in the Illuminati. A lot of them are.
There's a question online from Michael A. He says, I have just one question. Why did the Illuminati not take over the U.S.?
Does he mean us?
Is that for me or for...
Yeah, that's for you.
I think he's meaning for just the conversation topic.
No, that's for you. That's he's asking you.
Why did he not take over the U.S.? Us.
Okay. Well,
Us.
Okay. You can go ahead.
It's not a lack of trying, because if you pay close attention to your everyday celebrity, from everything you watch on TV to everything you listen to in mainstream music, from everything in the mainstream movies, mainstream entertainment period, from your favorite celebrities that you wouldn't think of to people who are just starting out and people who are just mysteriously dying. It's not that they haven't taken over us. They just haven't made their final move yet, I should say.
Well, from what I understand, with as far as the Illuminati, I think it's not something that they can just do and take over by doing. I think you have to kind of like sacrifice yourself to enter the Illuminati.
Oh, yeah.
You don't just become Illuminati by default, by walking down the street. Illuminati say, I want you. No, you have to, like, if anything, you go to the Illuminati with something to offer, and then they tell you what it is that they can do for you. So it's not something that they can just force upon the United States. It's in the United States, as you said, it's everywhere. But like regular people who just don't have no intentions of being an Illuminati can't just be forced upon them because people are around, per se.
Yeah, I mean, all the sacrificing they do themselves and other people, and just things you hear about the rituals and
Kathy
the whole
Lewis is
thing
going crazy over here.
disgusting.
She's like, she's casting out them demons right now. I don't know.
Cast them out, Kathy.
I don't know if you watching this.
Everywhere.
I don't know if you watching this, Sean, but Kathy Lewis 888 on unow.com is casting out them demons. She's like, King K's over Illuminati.
Yeah, I see it. The King of Illuminati over King and Lord over all Illuminati and King of thus earth. I see all of it. I see the hearts with the hand, the fist.
Yeah.
I'm watching.
Yeah.
Wow, man. So how you feel about the gospel scene right now?
It's the gospel scene right now is probably at its peak, because the people that are. I assume you're speaking about the music, or just the gospel,
I'm
like
talking.
the gospel.
Yeah, just the gospel now, just the scene, the overall scene.
I feel like it's kind of becoming cool again to be Christian, because I don't know, because a lot of the more famous people somehow, whether they mean it or not, or they're just saying it to save face. A lot of them are coming out and like, kind of like throwing God in a lot of their songs. Like Kanye West made a song, Jesus Walks, and
I heard that. You heard that, right?
Look at the camera. It's so hot in here that the cheese of my sandwich started melting.
Wow.
That's how hot it is in this room with all its equipment and the lights.
Let me turn it around. Do you see that? It's like literally melting.
Wow.
You're gross.
How's that gross, man?
That's
what
gross.
Everybody's asking why you keep wiping yourself, and I'm not like that. Not like that. Everybody thinking what I'm thinking now.
You're wiping your forehead.
Yeah, wiping my forehead, not the other end.
Okay, we weren't talking about that.
All right, so if you had to get to do a collaboration with any artist, who would it be?
William McDowell, easily. I'm a really big fan of him and his ministry. I assume you mean in the genre that I make music.
Yes.
Because I wouldn't make music with anything else. But
Yeah.
No, I couldn't.
Everybody asks me. People say I look like 2 Chainz. Would you do an album with 2 Chainz? And I'm like,
no.
Yeah, it's definitely William McDowell. His music is amazing. If you don't know him by his name, you probably know his music. So I give myself away. Different, like he's written some of the best songs that we sing in church services today. So he's definitely someone that I definitely would like to maybe do something with. But who knows? There's Vashawn Mitchell as well. There's John McReynolds. There's Tasha Cobbs, who's amazing. Probably has the best voice in gospel. There's many different people that I would work with.
Rev.
Somebody has another. Yeah, I was saying.
Go ahead.
Somebody has another question for you. Rev Willie ask him what you think about prayer warriors.
Oh, that's wow. That's right on the money because me, my siblings, and a couple of friends and associates, we have a prayer group chat that we do on our iPhones, on our phones. So we text it every day.
Wow.
One day somebody leads, 1 week someone leads, and then the following week someone else leads, and we call ourselves prayer warriors. So that's kind of like, wow, I'm just reminiscing about that right now, actually. I think it's great to have prayer warriors because we have warriors for everything else. It's great that we have people that are willing to go to battle in prayer for God and for each other and to pray for one another.
That's wonderful. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, and we have like requests as well. So like at the beginning of the week, we started every Sunday. One person will lead every morning. We do it morning, noon, and evening. So one person will lead, and they'll ask everybody to send in a prayer request if they do have any, and then we all pray for those requests. And then the following week, it's somebody else that leads it, and then we get all the requests. So that way, everybody just gets all their, whatever problem you have or something you're praying for that you want to receive, whether it's a job or something. We all pray about it together and pray for each other. So that way, everybody just kind of like stays intact within prayer. And it's just another way as well to remind each other to pray every day.
Yeah. Do you just do it on your phones?
Well, we do it amongst ourselves. Like it's like about 10 of us. We do it amongst ourselves, but we do plan on expanding that to, like the social medias, the people who would like to be a part of it, people who need prayer but don't know where to turn to for prayer. Because I know a lot of people who they want prayer and they want to pray, but their surroundings won't allow them to because their surroundings are the complete opposite of prayer.
Where do people go to get the prayer, like to join in?
Well, we haven't done that yet. That's something that we're actually planning. Whether it's Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, we're gonna give everybody a chance where they don't necessarily have to be within the group, but like we could just post something up and then people write their problems or whatever if they want, of course. They don't have to write the most personal thing. They could just say, I need prayer, and that's enough. You don't need to say what you need prayer about. You could just say, I need prayer, and then we know, keep that person in mind. Whether we know you, whether we don't know you, whether you're in China, whether you're in Brooklyn, New York, it doesn't matter. Prayer travels. So
Willie said he needed to set up a free conference line.
Oh yeah? Okay, that sounds good. That's definitely another option as well, where we can, have everybody on the line and we all pray together.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's this woman on Twitter, Christina, says that she said, "Yo, what's going on? The pic makes you look like you have a beard. The mic is deliberate." It's because it looked like I got a beard, but actually, this is a very light shave.
Yeah.
I haven't shaved in like 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks.
No, it's been like a couple of days. Your hair grows really fast, so don't tell me it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah. Tell me, I need the free conference. He says, tell me to set up a. Rev Willie said, tell me. I just said that. Oh.
Michael A has another question. He says, I have heard that religion does not exist, but God does. What do you think about that?
Religion does not exist. Well, religion exists, but I don't think it's religion that will save us at the end of the day. That's what he means by it does not exist. Like, we shouldn't focus on religion rather than the true gospel and just doing what God asks of us. Because certain religions, really, that's the thing with religion. It kind of segregates belief of, the scriptures. Some people interpret it differently than some others. So that's why religion was formed, because some people felt like there's certain different rules that they should be following rather than what the scriptures say. So, I mean, a person doesn't have to be religious to be saved, in my opinion. As long as the person follows the scriptures like to the T and just tries their hardest to just stay straight on the path that God has set for us. I don't think, religion necessarily. I don't think all Catholics is what's going to make you go to heaven, or all Baptists or all Protestants. I don't think that's what's going to save us at the end of the day. It's really our faith and us just following the scriptures and the guidelines that God has set for us.
Us individually. Not a religion altogether.
Yeah, no, of course not.
Yeah. Very nice.
Wow, that's amazing. As you can see, we don't have our questions written down. We just go off.
We go off each other.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that's why the questions are so random and everything, and we get them from people that are listening right now as well. And it's just interest of what a person like you would know or would probably know that other people wouldn't want to hear. Like, where are you from again?
From Haiti.
Hades. Hades? Oh,
Hades.
wait. I said Hades.
Haiti, not Hades.
I'm saying this man was from hell in the first place. Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
No.
Haiti.
Haiti.
Not Hades.
He's not even laughing. That's even worse. All right.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that's right. I'm not laughing. I'm not from there.
No, I'm here.
How you feel about Obama? Are you a supporter? Or I know you're not political. I know you're not political, but he has an effect on everyone. What's your views on that?
My view on Obama is probably no different than any other American who just wants to see the best for the country. As long as Obama is doing the best that America needs, I don't have a problem. I don't care that he's black, white, red. It doesn't really matter to me. Obviously, me being African descent, I was very supportive of him because this is something that we've never been accustomed to. It was more about the country never having somebody African American be in charge of the entire states. So I mean, it was pretty cool at first, but then it became like, okay, is he getting the work done? That's all I really cared about after a while. Like if he was doing a terrible job, I'm not gonna vote for him because he's black. That wouldn't make any sense.
Exactly.
So as long as Obama, can lead us into, out of all this war, out of all this, all this economic issues, I don't have a problem. I don't care if it's, anybody that can qualify for the job. I'm all for it.
Yeah, because we got another black man running for president now.
Yeah, is it Ben Carson?
Yeah, Carson now.
Yeah.
I'm praying. Well, I'm praying for someone
Obama
to get
opened the way for black people. In presidency wise.
Well, let me tell you. Let me know if you agree, Sean, about what I'm about to say, but and anybody else. But our votes don't matter.
They really don't.
What happens is they already choose who's going in.
Yeah.
Before we even know.
Up.
And I'm not talking about all the votes are in, but he's already. That person is already picked. We as voters are just have the second hand, and they say, oh, they want this person. If it's the correct person we agree on, yeah. If it's not, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, it's a touchy topic, but I agree with you. I agree that we don't have as much power as we think we do, but at the same time we do. At the same time, I mean, it's kind of like, because I don't think they want us to send that message that our votes don't matter. So that
they're like, we're gonna corrupt the whole
whole
state.
The government might be giving you another call or whatever they did to you. I think they might be checking back up on you about this.
I have a few comments. Kathy Lewis says there's an upcoming movie in August called The Prayer Room. It's about prayer warriors, and she also thinks we're being played by the president, and we are in certain ways. And Michael A has another question. He says, do you think Obama was born in Kenya or raised in Hawaii?
I mean, isn't that a fact that he was, or is it something? Is it? I thought it was a fact that he was of Hawaiian descent.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, so, I mean, it really wouldn't matter what you think, as long as it's stated facts that's what it is. And I don't see, I don't care if he was born in Japan. Obama looks black to me, so that's that works for me.
I was sitting there laughing, man. Yeah, he looks black to you. Oh man, Japanese.
I'm looking forward to that movie that's coming out that Kathy was talking about, the prayer room, or the war room.
Yeah, I would like this. I don't really watch movies like that. The only movie I watch back to back is The Gospel of John. You know, The Gospel of John is the only one.
Kathy is saying they need to know that some of us know what is going on. We are not dumb, and we are fearfully, wonderfully made. Very nice, Kathy. Very good. That's a true sentence, that we are fearfully made, of course. Because we are made by the Almighty God Himself, and God is the ultimate one to be feared. But yeah, I mean, like, I think they know that some of us are not dumb and that are not really fooling us, but they're gonna sit there and smile on your face anyways and try to spout off their BS anyways, and you know, whatever they think. I mean, Obama's just a puppet himself anyways. Somebody's controlling Obama. What he does is on a grand scale of what, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear stuff moving over there. You moving out already? Yeah, I was like, he's trying to get some dishes done.
Oh, me? Oh, no. I'm just doors opening, doors shutting.
Okay. Yeah.
Holy Ghost coming in and out.
Kathy, I think they do know that some of us are not being fooled, and some of us are not as dumb as they want us to be, because that would be so perfect for them if we were all dumbed down and we didn't speak or have a pain by anything they did. That'd be so perfect, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
A whole nation.
Sean, I got another question for you. Have you ever heard the Harbinger?
Excuse me?
The Harbinger?
Harbinger?
Yeah.
No, I do not know. No.
Okay. Have you ever heard of the what's that one? The fallen angels in the Bible.
I think I somewhat know that story, the fallen angel, but I'm not I couldn't really tell you I'm 100% clear on it.
Okay, I can skip that question then.
Michael A says, do you think Congress controls Obama, or it's just racist?
Michael A been watching a lot of CNN, man. MSNBC.
Bravo to him.
Yeah.
He knows what he's talking about.
Right.
He's up to date.
That's right.
He's a smart one.
Dang, why you coming down on me, man? I was agreeing with the guy, man.
Because you watch all that stuff too.
I do. I mean, sometimes
so yeah,
it's just ridiculous stuff.
I know. So what do you think? Congress controls Obama, or just racist?
Congress. I mean, don't Congress have to sign off on everything, giving any president before?
Yeah.
Like Obama could ask for something, but if Congress don't sign off on it, it doesn't happen. So I guess in a way, the president is not as in control as we think it is. But I mean, in a way, yeah.
There's always a way to get around everything, even Congress.
Yep, there
but
is.
I mean, some things are harder to get around because they're being controlled by something powerful. But Congress, I think they kind of have an input on what he does and things.
Oh, for sure.
I agree with that. I mean, when it comes to Congress, they Obama and vetoes and all this veto stuff, this goes nowhere.
Kathy says, I think it could be the rich, powerful, controlling people of this world. I guess more money, more power is the motto in this world. Unfortunately.
More money, more power?
Unfortunately, they might take people who don't make as much money into consideration, but I feel like ultimately the rich people have the power sometimes because they're making money. And
somebody asked, can you rap? I think that is obvious that Sean can't rap.
Yeah, I think they're more asking me to rap actually, because I saw that question as well. I think they're more asking me to rap rather than.
Michael says the rich try to help the poor. Some rich people try to help the poor. I don't believe some do. It depends on the person themselves, rich or poor, whoever they are, if they have the heart to want to help people. Not everybody helps everybody. No matter if, because I have seen this in my daily life, people who don't have money will just walk over a bum, and some people who actually have money will help.
Yeah,
and vice versa.
You know, Sean, I was in New York City, and I saw a homeless, guy, and I sat down next to him, and I leveled myself with him. I was standing there with everyone else, but I sat underground next to him. I have a film that I made called Paying Forward, and I produced the film, and I went in one part of the film, you see I sat down next to him, and I looked through his eyes, and I got in his shoes, and I saw people looking at me like they was looking at him, and I felt what he was going through, and I talked to the one Spanish woman. I didn't, go racist on her and say, yeah, you see, you look at us like we're crazy in America, but if we go to your country, something might be vice versa, And yeah. I didn't do that to her. I just asked her questions. I was like, why are you looking down at us? Are you going to do something? Are you going to help this man? Or are you just going to look at him like you got it going on, knowing where you came from? It's type of different story.
Oh, yeah.
And
I was helping film that, too.
Me. Yeah, she just looked at me. And, she just walked off. It's pretty sad.
Michael said, yes, money can change. As in, I'm thinking he's saying, change situations and things. Money can change a lot of things. Like, it can help the hood, as they call it, the ghetto, as they call it. It can help poor people who don't have as much money. And that's where, I guess, what is it, food stamps? And
she said, what is it, food stamps?
Food stamps and disabilities. That money comes from the government. It does help. That kind of money is good. But not all money is the government puts out for help. They want to take. That's why taxes go up and down. That's why different prices for everything go up and down. The man's going to make the money too.
Speaking of another question, because man, this man's like, how many questions y'all got for me tonight, man?
No, I'm cool.
The question is, how do you feel about poverty?
Yeah. I think poverty, I don't think it's as complicated to solve, believe it or not, because I think what drives poverty the most is the fact that there's so many selfish people in this world. Like, people are trying to make the most money they can in their lifetime that they don't need. Like, people who are billionaires, what are you really, like, what are people who billionaires plan to do with all that money? Knowing that life can end at any given moment.
Yep.
Why not find ways to help the poor? Like, I heard they're removing certain homeless shelters in certain places because I guess the homeless shelters serve no purpose to society. But what can a homeless person serve to society? They don't even have a home to lay in. So
you have to.
It's really like something. It's an ignorant thing to think that a homeless person should have expectations of what they can give to you, because they're the ones that have everything they're the ones that are in need of everything that they can get, or whatever they can get. So I think it's like the world is built so selfishly. Like, every time the Forbes list comes out, you're seeing how much money this person made in a year. Like, Mayweather made $300 million this year in what, a few months. And you're like, $300 million in 1 year. What is he really going to do with that $300 million on top of everything else he already had? So you're thinking, if he just said, okay, I'm going to give this amount. It's his money. I can't count somebody's pockets because that's not my job to do. But to say, if everybody said I would give out $1 million to this place, $1 million to that place, rather than spending it on brand new cars that makes the 20th car in our garage, or the 1,000th pair of shoes.
They say that they made $3 million a year, but they gave none of it away.
Exactly. So it's like, you don't just go out and just toss money in the street, but build different organizations that help people who are in need, people who are poor, the poverty people, to find different ways where they can, make a living for themselves, or find different opportunities where they can start earning on their own. And that's another thing I believe as well. I don't necessarily believe in just walking around and just give somebody a stash of money, but gives that person an opportunity where they can make their money for themselves, where they won't need you to do it for them anymore. Like give them jobs, like find different, like you open up a business and it's the same people that you already know that are in your family that are working in it. How are the outside people who actually need a job benefiting from it? If I'm rich and I'm hiring my own brothers to work for me, then I'm taking jobs away from somebody who really needs a job with two kids that can't.
That's why these little mom and pop stores and a little bit of this, it's all family owned.
Yeah. So if you're hiring people who don't need the money just because they're familiar with you already, you just hire them. But the people who really need the money are out there still starving, trying to find a way to live.
I remember back in the days, like when I was younger, I tried to apply for a mom and pop store, like a family owned store. Like, oh no, it's okay. They like shunned me.
Whoa, what was that? I heard something.
Oh no, that's dog outside.
I told you how vigilant I am.
It's super hot where I'm at, so I just opened the door, so that's why all these different sounds are.
Oh, sorry about that. I thought a monster would come up in there and eat you up or something. I was like, oh no.
There is a he's called the Republican Preacher Boy. He says food stamps and government helping is not really helping. That it's like enabling them people. I will make a rebuttal or a comment on that. Yes, in some cases, people do take advantage of the system, and they do know how to work the system. I have had people that I've known do this. But there are some people who truly do need government help that are really disabled. And those people who are taking advantage of it give them a bad name. They give the bad name of people taking advantage of the government. They give the bad impression that maybe we shouldn't give food stamps out no more, or maybe this and that. But there are seriously some people who, with the government help, it is not even with food stamps, disability checks, SSI checks, whatever it be, some people that really is their life support because they cannot do it themselves. They really do need the help. But I feel so bad for those people who actually do need it, because other people who are working the system and getting what they can out of the system without really earning it, I should say. I feel really bad for the people who really do need it, because I don't want one day I don't think this would happen, but I don't want one day for the government to just do away with food stamps or disability checks, the help they give out, because they're tired of taking advantage of. But I mean, he said
the thing is, they're not being taken advantage of. The government is not being taken advantage of. And you want to know why? It's because the government is recycling its money to go into its pocket. So after it gives out the SSI, the SSD, the food stamps, it recycles and waters down into the factories and the manufacturers, and they do whatever they want with the money, and then eventually the money comes back to the United States and the government in which it came from. That's why they tell you some food stamps you can only use in New Jersey, New York. You can only use in the state, because then the state collects it back. At some point in time, it will come back. It's like a big circle. Comes back to them, and that's how they recycle their money. With Social Security, SSI, it comes right back to them. So they think they're helping us, which they are, but they're putting money into their pocket eventually at the end of the day.
The Republican boy, he says that the government should not have control over food stamps and things like that. It should be state-ran. Smaller government helps people.
Wait, what was it?
We're going political over here.
The Republic Preacher Boy said the government should not have control over food stamps and things like that. It should be state-ran, smaller government helps people, meaning that it should be broken down into each state. But
the Book of Enoch.
And Rev Willie wants to ask you about the Book of Enoch.
The Enoch?
Uh-huh.
Anything specific about it?
No. he just asked about that book.
I mean, it's a, like, what do I feel about the book?
I guess so. He didn't specify. Hi, Fireman Douglas. Firefighter Douglas 20. Hello. Yeah, he didn't specify about the book. I don't know where to go with that as far as Rev Willie, if you're still listening, can you specify your question down a little more?
trying to do it.
But should we go back to that Rev Boy's comment?
Yeah.
So what do you think about the government not controlling food stamps and things like that, that it should be ran by the state, smaller government?
I heard the government. What do I think about the government in the states? Is that what you said?
He says that the government shouldn't control food stamps and things like that, like SSI and things, that it should be state ran, each individual state ran, and he's saying that smaller government helps people.
Yeah, I mean, in a way that kind of makes sense, but I would think it's harder to kind of like keep tab that way, and I don't think the U.S. would actually ever let that go through, because they would actually see the real people who are in need, and I don't think they want to give out that much. I don't think the government wants to help as much as we need the help. So as far as it being ran by state to state, you know how much people in New York City are poor. Like, you know how much money they'd have to dish out from those food stamps and how much aid they'd have to give. So that would be a challenge of itself.
And not every state is the same as in money wise, because I know California or the West Coast is in serious debt just by the state itself. So not every state has as much money or whatnot and as much population and things like that. Like comparing Texas like to Rhode Island. Yeah. Rhode Island's like an ant compared to Texas. You know what I'm saying? Of course. So.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, in that sense, it makes sense. So maybe he's on to something.
Rev Willie he wants your thoughts on that book, man. He keeps asking. He's like, I am determined to get the answer.
What part of the book, or just the book itself?
Sean, you there?
I'm here.
Yeah, he asking you about the book of Enoch. You know, what is your thoughts on the book? The book just flat out.
I don't.
Oh, that's a good question. Go ahead, Sean.
He said, hold on for a second.
SNL Radio.
Do you think you can handle it? Amazing things are happening here.
Look, yeah, my internet is acting really silly right now. 1 second. Let me try that.
Kathy says, I think it gives great insight.
Yeah, great insight. I believe that, We got older people listening to the show right now. I like that. But the thing is, we're on a website called younow.com, which is basically dominated by younger kids. And to have them hear this is to give them inspiration and to help them regenerate their way of thinking, to say, hey, maybe I should start paying attention to this stuff and taking life more serious and just having sex with little girls and just going to school and all that type of stuff. We should set a good example for these kids. So instead of talking about them, we can lead them down the right path. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what we gotta do.
So.
Hello.
Yeah. The Republic preacher boy kind of specified what he was saying. He said, "I'm not saying let the state pay for it, but let the government pay for it, but let the state regulate who really needs it. Okay, I could see
that
that.
makes sense.
I could see that. That'd be a good idea, but
That'd be a great idea.
I don't know if the government would actually go for it though, because they love control over everything. But
Exactly.
yeah,
America.
that's a good idea, Rev or Preacher Boy. And
What's your Twitter again, Sean?
Sean_lyric.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that should have been just just common sense to me.
Michael A says, do you believe that the rich controlled by the devil, meaning that they sign a contract with the devil? What do you think about that?
No, I don't necessarily think everybody that's rich is controlled by the devil, because even in ancient times, God made rich. God made people rich. King Solomon was rich.
Yeah.
There were different. Yeah, there's different. It's all about how you get rich. People will do anything to get rich, and then some people are just blessed.
Exactly. Yeah, because some people get rich the evil. Yeah. They do get rich evil ways, of course. But some people really do it honestly, goodly, and I applaud those people.
Absolutely.
Thank you, firefighter Douglas 20, for becoming a fan. We appreciate it.
Yes, that's amazing. So, yeah, back to the poverty, the poverty questions that I had for you. Do you think it's better for what would be your best way of shaping up the poverty, the ghetto rural areas of a neighborhood? Now, right now in Jersey City, New Jersey, what their plan of tackling on crime and ghetto-ness and all that type of stuff is that they want to take businesses in the ground level of houses and put businesses on the level floor of houses to move people. They're not cleaning up neighborhoods. They're moving people to an area and they're making it smaller and smaller. This is what we need to do. We need to go in to the ghetto neighborhoods, to the poverty neighborhoods, and we need to clean it from inside out. That's the way God works in lives today. He comes into your heart. Yeah. It's like an IV being shot into your arm. You feel that, you feel the liquid coming into you, and God works inside the heart, and then the outside starts changing from the inside. That's not what we're doing in these neighborhoods. These mayors want to talk about more police, more police, more police, and more. That's not going to help anything. People don't like cops today. So what you got to do is you got to come into the neighborhood and start changing things.
Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense. You got to work from within first, and then the outer parts will resolve itself.
So you think more people should be going to jail? Like, when we can prevent that from happening?
No.
That's the key. How do you prevent that from happening? Is it more police really gonna prevent people from going to jail, or is it just that they'll get caught more? It's all about how the perspectives of how you look at it.
Exactly. I agree. The Republican preacher boy, he said, people can't like cops if everyone criticizes them when they're doing their job.
Yeah, but there are some cops who, I won't say take their job too seriously, but go overboard because they think they're cops and think they're above the law.
Yeah, the power.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like they're drunk with power and they think they can do anything. Mm-hmm. That's what gives cops a bad name, and that's like the worst, because people think, oh, they're cops that are supposed to be there to protect us and we can trust and the whole nine. But then when you hear those stories about cops killing innocent people and being so violent with who they're tackling down or who they're arresting, more violent with what's really going on, people are shying away from cops. Like, no, I can't stand cops now. I mean, I know. I felt like that at one point in time, but I'm like, just like everything else, there's still those good cops out there. But these recent events with cops, it's like it's hard sometimes to tell who the good ones and the bad ones.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you're never gonna be able to. It's not written on their forehead. Like with cops, just with the different things that are going on now. Like it seems like every other month somebody's getting killed. An innocent man's getting killed by the police, and it's sad because you're like, well, who do you turn to when you have an emergency, when you need somebody? Who do you turn to? That used to be the police. And now you're like, well, the police are killing me, so why would I call them? So, I mean, it's in the back of some people's minds. I know that for sure because, especially in New York City, where the police is like a huge force. Some people feel like police are like the biggest criminals in New York City, and I know that firsthand from people who are telling me these things. So it's really unfortunate that this has to happen. It has to even be a train of thought for certain people around the world.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Woo. Well, that brings us to the end of the show. Well, not the end of the show, but all right, the interview. We have running time. Time is kind of running out right now for us.
Okay.
So the last bit of questions that I have for you is, what's your plan with your new album? Any new albums coming out, if there is, anytime soon? What is your plan? What's the name of them? Where can we find them?
The plan is to be a living testimony to someone else.
Amen.
I always believe.
Yes, boss.
It's better to speak the gospel when people feel it's personal. When people could feel, when they can see through what you're saying, not just God is good, but they can actually connect with you on a human standpoint, because we're all humans at the end of the day. So I want to be very transparent to the people with my worship and my praise and the music and my ministry, and have an impact on even one person if that's what it takes. And that person, because when somebody's impacted by something, they share it. So that way somebody else can be blessed by it, and then somebody else can be blessed by it, and somebody else can be blessed by it. I don't plan to change the world, but I believe if one person could be touched by something, then that way the world can be changed, because good things spread, whether it's a bad good thing or a good thing. And I say a bad good thing because it could be a bad good thing, like there could be something that we find good, but it's bad for us, but we like it. Like there's a lot of things that we like that are not good for us, but we like them anyway. And you're going to tell somebody about it. But something that's actually good, that actually can help somebody on a even spiritual level, on a higher level, I feel like that can be, there's no limit for that. That can go above the skies, and, God will find a way to prevail with his ministry to be heard all around the world. And as far as the album, I actually plan to have it maybe early next year, because it's being worked on thoroughly right now. Maybe early next year, and it'll definitely be available on all the iTunes and all the main local and all the main musical stores where people can buy different things, as well as hard copies that should be in stores, because we want to make sure that we get it to as much people as we can, to all over the globe. So that's the plan for that, and we're just still, we're ministering out here. We're taking our ministry to everywhere people are asking us to be. New York, Florida. Anywhere that people need us to be, we try to be as spiritual to those people as they can. Some people who need spiritual lifts in their lives and they don't know where to search for it, we definitely try to be that within our community and within around the world.
All right, where can we find you on Twitter, Facebook, and
my Twitter is Sean_lyric. My Facebook is Sean Lyric, and my website is SeanLyricMusic.com.
Nice.
If you go on my website, you could listen to my latest single on there. I have a video that I did for my last single, Faithfully. You can see it on there as well. And you could, read about, me, my journey to music, and current things that I have coming up, things that I'm doing right now. You can find everything on my website, SeanLyricMusic.com.
Definitely. I really appreciate you being here. A big up to you, and remember, amazing things are happening here. We would like to invite you to come back on here for a Bible study one day. I'll keep in touch with you.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Sounds great.
Absolutely.
Definitely. All right, Sean. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
No problem. Awesome. Thank you guys.
you.
Appreciate it.
No
All
problem.
right, see ya.
Right.
Amen. Yes.
Very nice.
He's an amazing person.
We still have a couple of comments that are interesting.
Well, I've been, observing everything.
Yeah,
and,
they're having a really good conversation on here.
It's a lot of adults in this room right now.
Exactly, I love it. I love it.
But I want to see more of the kids that be in other broadcasters to come here and learn something, you know, and learn God and learn how good life can be instead of tweaking and twerking or whatever they call it. Twerking, you know?
Twerking.
Yeah, you know, and all that
Whatever.
kind of funny stuff. They don't have to do that stuff. You know, life can be lived with joyfulness, praise, if you just follow God.
Hey, it's Joe Caspasarelli from Our Current Reality. Be sure to subscribe to us for new uploads every Monday. You can check out our videos. We talk about a wide variety of things from truth to inspiration to everyday life. So if you're looking to better yourself, understand what life is, or just know what's going on, this is the place to be. So catch up with your current reality with Our Current Reality on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that notification button because this is truth, unafraid, unashamed, providing inspiration through development.